Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and doing a video today on my Asian pears, also known as Nashi pears, and my plans for them now and what I'm going to do with them for this summer. So I thought I'd go through the varieties and just discuss what attention they do or don't need. Starting with the one that I've had the longest, this one here, which is well established in this pot, is a, let me see, I think it's Shinziki. Yeah, this one's Shinziki. It has fruited for me. Its main issue is really that it's pot bound. I've repotted it once in the same pot and root pruned it, and all that did was really set the plant back and stop it flowering and fruiting. So I think that I'm going to move this today, and probably all of them, into large fabric pots. I hope that they'll last in for about 5 years before I decide what to do with them or to up pot them. This tree is a very good height now. It's the absolute maximum I want it to be. It's probably about 8 feet tall, including the pot, so the tree's probably about 7 feet tall. But I really need to take off some of the tips of the branches tonight, and then today. And then I need to look around it and look at branches that are in the wrong place, crossing over, twisted, etc. The first thing I'll be looking at this today is some of the shoots have died back for whatever reason. So this one here, for example, looks like it's dead to the base. We'll have a look at that and see. Now I have sterilised my pruners. So we're going to have a look at this one and see what this looks like. Back to here. I'll take it off here initially. Looks totally dead, so I think we'll probably go to here. Still looks dead, so I'm going to take it off flush with the stem. Yeah, looks okay there. Now this lower branch here, I haven't got a problem with the lower branch, and these buds on it will be flower buds, but it's probably sticking out a little bit more than I want it to. It's a shame it didn't branch out a little bit low. It's my fault for not pruning it back more when I first got it. So as I don't want to lose all the flowers, I'm going to take this one off just here, so it's a bit more manageable. This one here looks to be dead at the base, so again I'm going to cut this one back and see what it looks like. Not alive there. It's funny how these lower stems tend to die back. So I'm going to take this, I've decided I'm going to take this one off flush as well. It might shoot out from the stem, that's okay. This dead one here can come off. You can see the rot on it. Actually, it had a little bug in that, so we've got rid of him. Bye bye bug. Don't know what it was, but obviously that's going to damage the stem, and I'll paint this with a wound sealer later. I can't see any other grubs in there, but that's obviously not going to be good for the plant at all. This stem I can probably leave. Looking at these branches at the top, I'm inclined to think that I might take out this one because it's curving over on top of the other branch, so I think that one should be removed. Didn't do that very well. Should have cut that. Should be cut flush really with the stem. If you get any little dead twigs like that one's completely dead, that can be removed. Then you need to start looking around and seeing if you've got, if you look at this branch here, I don't know if you better see, but this is twisted here, so I would be inclined to remove this middle one. I'm just looking at the shape of the plant here. You don't really want branches that are growing inwards too much, so I think I've decided actually I'm going to remove this completely here. It might seem like a lot to take off, but that stops it crossing over too much. Obviously if I remove too many of these, I'll lose the flowers for this year. Again, this stem here looks fairly healthy, but this middle one can come out. I'm going to just take that off there. excuse me. And I'll carry on with pruning these in a minute. I'm going to sterilise the pruners, but before I do that, I'll go round each of the other plants. So basically that's my Shinziki. This one I've had almost as long. This is a Hong Li, and this is the one that had a lot of dieback on it a year or so back, so I decided to cut it back because it seemed to have some kind of disease on it. Now the rest of it put these new shoots out last year, which on the face of it seemed to be okay. There's a couple of the tips are slightly withered and died back, which is quite common with these sort of deciduous trees in winter, to get a little bit of dieback, so I will trim the tips off, but I'm not going to probably interfere with any of these branches yet, as I'd like it to keep growing. Excuse me. The next one we're going to look at here is a Kumoy. Now this doesn't have a bad shape to it, and as you can see, it's got flowers buds on it. Now I don't particularly like the fact that this branch is curling over the top of the plant. It's not strongest shoot. It does have flowers on it, but I think because it's curling over, I will probably remove this one here today and just leave the 3 branches. They've got flower buds on them anyway, so that's fine. And also we've got another one of these weird twisty over branches at the top here, so I should probably remove this one because it's curling over the top. I might take it to an outward facing bud down here, or union, because that might at least allow it to flower that way. It won't be the end of the world. You can adjust these each year as you see fit, but it does look like it's going to flower this year. So if I get this into a bigger pot, maybe we'll get some fruits on it. Now this one here is my Nijisiki, and I made a mistake when I first got this, that I didn't cut it back, and all these little side stems never amounted to anything, and all I've ended up with is a tallish plant with these sections at the top. So I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and cut it back, cut this top 18 inches off, and I'll probably take it back to here, so at least I'll get a little bit of growth, or maybe here, and I'm hoping that might encourage these buds down here to break out this year, but we'll see. It's a gamble, but I don't really want a tall thin stick. So that one, as I said, is my Nijisiki. And finally I've got this one here, which I got last year, which is an Olympic, which I think is also known as 20th century. Produces one of, if not the biggest, of the Asian pear fruits. Now there are no buds on this that look like flowers. The form and shape of the plant is quite good. I'm quite happy to have these lower stems down on it, but I might trim them slightly just to strengthen them. This one's got plenty of active buds lower down, which is promising. So what I think I'll probably do is just take the top 6 inches off these stems, and I'll take them back to an outward facing bud. So that one there I might take off because it's kind of growing inwards, but again, all of these shoots I'll take them off to outward facing buds, and that should give a decent form and shape to them. So what I'll do is I'm going to do my pruning and then come back to the video. I'm not going to film it all because it's hard to do when I'm holding the camera in one hand. Okay, so I finished my little pruning and trimming. Now I know a lot of people, there's pros and cons for using like wound sealers and barrier treatment things, and I know some people like using them, some don't. I'm using an organic one here. This is a garlic barrier pruning paint. It's not one of those tough sort of tar based ones. It just dries out very quickly, and I don't think it does any harm to the healing process of the tree. They seem to heal underneath the liquid barrier anyway. It just seals the wound. But in particular on this tree, because I found some kind of grub or wood boring grub in there which was trying to eat away the tree, I thought it'd be a good idea to use a barrier in there, and obviously the garlic is meant to put insects off. So I've given this one a little bit of a trim. I haven't done much. This Hong Li, I've just took a couple of dead tips off the top of the stems. I've got to put a bit of barrier seal on that. again on this one I've removed the branch. All I've done is cut the tips back a little bit on my Olympic or 20th century, just to get it to branch out a little bit lower down. I've taken a fair bit off the height of the this Nashi because it hasn't branched out at all, and I really want as I grow them in pots, I want them branching out lower down. And I've taken the twisted branch out on this one, which was the is this the Kumoy? And you've got sort of 5 varieties, you lose track of them. Yeah, this is the Kumoy. These are all flower buds. I'm going to leave these, and I'm going to probably relocate the plants a little bit and reorganise my garden, try and have all the Asian pears together, so that if I do get flowers on any of them, they're close to each other for the purpose of cross-pollinating rather than having them spread out. So the repotting video will be a separate video. I'll probably just show myself repotting one of them. I'm not going to do all of them. It'll be too much work and too long a video. And anyway, when you've seen one repotted, you don't need to see the others. But I will do another video on that when I repot them. We'll probably start off with the largest one, the Shinziki. And the sooner they're repotted, the better, because it's early in February and they'll be coming to life by March. I want to get them done now while the roots are still fairly dormant. Anyway, thanks for watching the video on my Asian pears, Nashi pears. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up. Share the video if you think it might be useful to anybody. Please subscribe to my channel, and of course click on that bell if you'd like to know when new videos come out, which will include updates of course on my Asian pears when they come into flower. I'll catch up with you all soon. Brett out for now.